The best way to invest is in those unstoppable forces changing our lives, and few are as close or carry the force of 5G. In fact, the 5G revolution is going to enable a lot of those other trends we're looking at, like tech, AI, automation, and robotics. In this video, we'll look at what 5G means for the economy and the world. I'll show you how to invest in the trend and then reveal the 5 best 5G stocks to buy for 2021. We're talking the top 5G stocks today on Let's Talk Money. Hey Bowtie Nation, Joseph Hogue here with the Let's Talk Money channel. I want to send a special shout out to all you out there in the nation. Thank you for spending a part of your day to be here. If you're not part of that community yet, just click that little red subscribe button. It's free and you'll never miss an episode. Nation, development of the next generation in connectivity has been in the works for years, but it finally looks like that revolution is here. Verizon launched its 5G home network in 2018, and most of the major carriers now have limited mobile coverage. And I am so excited about 2021 because we could start seeing that kind of mass commercialization of 5G applications that we've been waiting on for years. This is a force that could open up a lot of other trends, those big picture forces that we're watching like automation, robotics, and telehealth that are going to change the world. This is $13.2 trillion of global economic activity to unlock over the next decade, and investing in these leaders, these 5G stocks that are going to enable those applications, this is where you want to be. In this video, we'll look briefly at what 5G means for the economy, then how to invest in the trend. Then I want to reveal those top 5G stocks to buy as this revolution starts to heat up. I'll be using the Stock Card app to research and filter for these stocks. The platform makes it really easy to research themes and then analyze stocks in the group. We started our 2021 Bowtie Nation portfolio just 3 weeks ago, and we're already up 18%, beating the overall market by more than 15% in that time. I'm going to wait till next month to do an update video on that portfolio because I want to get to those 5 stocks I'm watching. I'll leave a link in the video description below. Click through and follow the portfolio on Stock Card. It's totally free to follow, and you'll get trade alerts anytime I buy or sell from the portfolio immediately and even before these videos come out. As a special bonus though, I've negotiated an exclusive discount for everyone here in the community. Use the promo code BowtieNation, that's all one word and lowercase, and you'll get a special discount beyond the 2-week free trial. Now, at its most basic, 5G is just the next generation of mobile broadband to replace that 4G LTE, but it's a giant leap in capabilities, and that's really what makes it transformative. Peak download speeds are going to be measured in gigabits per second, 50 and 100 times faster than the 20 megabits per second that you're used to getting with that 4G. Latency, or the time it takes for data to travel from one point to another, that's going to be down to just 4 milliseconds. Just think about this, 5G will support up to 1 million connected devices per square kilometer versus the 2,000 devices that can be connected under 4G. And it's these capability changes that are going to enable that Internet of Things revolution. From smart city infrastructure to self-driving cars, everything is going to be connected and talking together. Because you see, you can't get that split-second decisions you need with autonomous vehicles or those other IoT applications without all the devices being able to talk to each other simultaneously. Cars just need to monitor the road and every vehicle around it in an instant, and that's only possible with 5G technology. Now, as for how to invest in this coming boom, rather than the telecom carriers, which are getting all the attention right now, it's the applications and the automation that's going to see the biggest changes. Those hardware producers are going to benefit first, making the chips and the other gear that's going to make all this possible. Then you see the software boom with the applications for the 5G world. This is going to affect every industry and every part of your life. The automation, the management applications will lower costs and unlock productivity in nearly everything. Now, there are some 5G funds like the First Trust Index NextG ETF, that's ticker NXTG. It's a fund that tracks applications in the technology. There's also the Global X Internet of Things ETF, that's ticker SNSR, which invests more broadly in 47 companies in that IoT theme. But I don't really recommend investing in these 5G ETFs. Now, each charges a 0.7% expense ratio, which is more than twice the fees on most funds, and that really adds up over time. But more than that, it's really not hard to get into these funds, pick out the best 5G stocks for higher returns, and do your own investing. Now, the funds invest in less than 100 stocks and show you exactly where the biggest bets are being made. Best yet, though, is you can go to their websites for each of these funds, Look at the research behind these stock picks, and it's all completely free. Now, to narrow down our list, I'll go to the Discover area on Stock Card and then click on this Filters tab. One of the best features here is that you can search for a theme, and the platform is going to show you related companies in that group. So if I just type in 5G here, I see there's a collection already started for 5G technology and includes 24 stocks in the space. Now I can take that list and filter it further for what I'm really looking for. And here in these 5G stocks, it's revenue growth, addressable markets, and a lead in intellectual property. It's really just much more qualitative analysis than the fundamental analysis that we might do on other industry stocks. We won't be looking at any price multiples like that PE ratio as much because, well, they're pretty much crazy high right now. And a lot of these smaller companies are barely profitable as it is, but they have that lead in this technology that's gonna take the share price higher. Now, talking about 5G stocks, you've got to start with Qualcomm, ticker QCOM, easily the leader in the space. Now, Qualcomm is the world's largest wireless chip maker, along with a major licensor in 5G technology. In fact, the company already has over 75 5G license agreements for upwards of $2.7 billion just in the first half of 2020, and it's expected to help drive that 28% sales growth this year. The company is the first mover in hardware and software right now and has to be on your list. Management expects 5G handset orders to double this year's pace to 500 million, and the company just announced a new $26 billion repurchase program beyond that 1.8% dividend yield. Another great chip maker expected to win here is Skyworks Solutions, ticker SWKS. Much of Skyworks' business is in designing chips for smartphones, but it's also grown into those other applications, including routers, medical devices, and auto. And that's where I think you see the major growth in this Internet of Things explosion over the next few years. And chip demand is endless here with those semiconductors needed in fitness trackers, avionics, cars, pretty much everything electronic, and Skyworks is building out its leadership. The company is expected to post 17% revenue growth this year after it easily beat last quarter's earnings forecast. And here I really like management's ability to produce that return on assets and the return on capital. This ROIC and the ROA here are both well above the sector average and just speaks to a well-run company. A much smaller company here and potentially the highest return with InterDigital, ticker IDCC. The company is a $1.8 billion tech developer that licenses out its patents and apps, so just a small mid-cap here with a lot of room to run. It owns over 32,000 patent assets and sell video, apps, and services, all in some of the biggest trends to be in. The company smashed through earnings expectations last quarter, reporting 76 cents per share, almost 5 times over the expected 13 cents in per share earnings. InterDigital has a great balance sheet also, with $920 million in cash against just $360 million in debt. That means it's got plenty of cash and short-term assets to cover those expenses, which is really what I like to see in these smaller companies. It's got that financial flexibility to survive as growth ramps up and locks in that leadership position. This next 5G stock is a little more in the hardware and infrastructure space. Marvell Technologies, ticker MRVL. And while Marvell still has a legacy position in the storage segment, it's quickly moving into 5G and cloud services. With the recently announced acquisition of Inphi Connect, the company is building out its portfolio in 5G base stations and data centers. This deal alone will expand Marvell's addressable market to over $23 billion, and it's going to add Inphi's high-speed data interconnect platform. Sales were already expected higher by 10% this year and should increase appreciably when that deal is completed. Even though the legacy storage business isn't much for growth, I like how management's been able to squeeze return out of assets and is leading the company into those growth markets. An interesting consumer play here in 5G stocks is Garmin Limited, ticker GRMN, and most people don't realize how diversified this business is. Garmin is more than just fitness wearables, but a full-line GPS-enabled hardware and software company with segments in outdoor gear, auto, aviation, and marine, along with a sizable defense component. The marine, fitness, and outdoor segments have all been growing at double-digit paces. The aviation component has underperformed here over the last quarters, but that's really on outsized growth over the last year as the US air traffic control systems were upgraded. Even in what should have been a tough year for consumer electronics, Garmin was able to beat earnings estimates by 133% in the second quarter and by 60% in the third quarter. Sales are only expected 7% higher this year, and this one might be a year or two out from that 5G growth, but could be one of the first consumer companies to really benefit from the theme. In fact, I could easily see another company acquiring Garmin like Google is trying to do with Fitbit. Look for that link in the description and follow our 2021 Bowtie Nation portfolio on Stock Card. Click on the video to the right for the first 5 stocks to buy. Don't forget to join the Let's Talk Money community by tapping that subscribe button and clicking the bell notification.